Hello, I request Dr. Sachin Bandewar sir to please start the proceedings.
Okay. Thank you, Gagan sir. May I audible?
Yes, perfect.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Before we start the session, let me first introduce myself. My name is Dr. Sachin Bandewar, Associate Professor, Sri Sassai College of Engineering, RKDF University, Bhopal. Dear participant, as a co-coordinator of AICT Atal Fdp program, a very warm welcome to all the participants on the third day of our AICT Adult FDP. And before we start, let me take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi. On this special occasion, may Lord Ganesha bless with wisdom, positivity, and success in all our endeavor. We hope that just like every day, today too, you are excited to gain new knowledge and insight from our esteemed expert. Let's continue our learning journey with the same energy and festive spirits. Now, without taking much time, let's begin today's session. Let me introduce today's first session expert, Dr. Mukesh Kumar sir. Dr. Mukesh Kumar sir is an associate professor in cybersecurity at Parul University with over 12 years of experience, teaching experience, and research experience. He previously served as head of department in computer science of engineering at Rabindranath Tagore University, Bhopal. Dr. Mukesh Kumar holds a PhD in computer science and MTech in NIT Bhopal, and he is UGC NET qualified as well as 4 times GATE qualifier. His research expertise span big data, cybersecurity, machine learning, and data science. And he is also published 4 patents in emerging technology. Dr. Mukesh Kumar is widely recognized for his innovative research and teaching practice and his ability to integrate conceptual knowledge with practical application. We are truly honored to have with him with us today. Now I humbly invite to Dr. Mukesh Kumar to take over the session and share his valuable knowledge with us. Thank you, Dr. Mukesh sir. You are welcome.
Thank you,
Welcome,
Sachin sir.
welcome,
Thank you
sir.
so much,
Welcome,
sir. Thank
welcome,
you,
sir.
Gagan sir. Okay, now I can share my screen, na? One
Yes,
second.
Yes.
sir.
Okay, sir. My PPT is visible.
Sir, it is visible, but it is not full screen. Can you make it full? Yes, yes, perfect, sir, perfect.
It's okay, na?
Yes,
Okay,
perfect.
1 second, sir. Okay. Thank you, Gagan sir. So may I start my expert lecture?
Yes,
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 sir.
sir. Good
Okay,
to
sir.
go.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. My topic of this is expert lecture is the data privacy, prevalence, and ethical considerations. In this, we are going to cover about the data privacy, and then after people see the whatever the different data privacy act has been incorporated in worldwide in different country, then surveillance, then ethical consideration. We will see about that. Okay. Then firstly, we are what is the data privacy? Data privacy, in fact, it is the right of individual to control the collection, control the how the organization or government is collecting individual informations, how sharing, how storing their personal data. Okay, and this is used to be accomplished by following some mandatory practice which has been mandated by the whatever the Data Privacy Act has been imposed in our country, and some technology also. It is basically informational self determinations. Means individual need to decide that what should be happen with their personal data. Means how that should be shared with anyone, how they are going to use in the company and organizations. It is decided by the individual only, and whatever the privacy and security is little bit different. It is not the same concept. If you talk about the privacy, then privacy is the ethical and lawful use of the personal data. Means whatever the data is, personal data is there, if they are going to use by any organizations, that should be ethical and lawful only. And whoever the individual whose data is that should be that should be controlled by them only. And if you talk about the security data, then so much secret information is there that should be protected from unauthorized access. This is the security. And what is the importance of data privacy? By data privacy we can protect the dignity of any person, any individual. Means many public figure is there, figure is there, much of the information they don't want to spread in the market, and that should be protected in every case. And freedom is also can be protect, and autonomy of the autonomy in digital society is also can be protected by doing this. One case was happened of WhatsApp privacy policy controversy. Whenever the Facebook has been purchased to the WhatsApp, and after that WhatsApp changes in the policy like that they can share all this WhatsApp information to the parent organizations, and parent organization, which was the Facebook, and begin to use our personal data in any way. And that at that time so much controversy was happened, and so much criticism of the Facebook was happened. Okay, then what is the difference between the data privacy and secret data? If you talk about the data privacy definition, it is the protection of personal and sensitive information from the unauthorized access. Okay, and whatever the data is going to use, that should be controlled by the individual only. And if you talk about the definition of the data, secret data, then it is the highly sensitive data must remain confidential. In the case of the data privacy, means personal data can be shared to the other one, but that should be ethical use, that should be for the ethical use and the lawful use only. But secret data should not be shared with anyone. It should not be unauthorized access by anyone. This is the difference between that. If you talk about the data privacy focus, then it is used to focus to protect the rights of any individual, and how that individual is going to access their use, and how they are used to control the manipulation and processing of this particular individual data. And compliance used to be for this, the government data privacy act is there, and their compliance should be fulfilled by those organizations which are going to process our data. Okay, if you talk about the secret data focus, then it is used to focus up the confidentiality of the that particular data. That data should be anyhow should be confidential. If you talk about the example of data privacy, then whatever the personal data is there, like name, address, medical records, browsing history, all these things are visiting site, all these things are the personal example of the data privacy. If you talk about the secret data, then these are the password, cryptography, key authentication, and tokens. These are the secret data. And what will happen if the data privacy compromise? Then what will happen? Then it will be the violation of the privacy, right of the privacy, and identity theft will be happen over there. And after that, personal data will be misused by in different way, maybe in profiling and other things. If you talk about the compromise of the secret data, it leads to the data breach, and attacks and fraud can be happen with any individual if our secret data will be compromised. If you talk about the management of the data privacy, then data privacy ultimately managed by the whatever the data privacy act in our country, है ना? And it is achieved by the help of the policy, encryption technique, and anonymity. And for the case of the data secret data, then it is used to manage by the encryptions, security system, secret walls, and secure system management. What the things we are having, according to that, we are trying to make our data confidential. And if you talk about the scope of the data privacy, then broad concept covering protection of the all the personal sensitive data. And if you talk about the secret data scope, then it is moreover means it is means whatever the data person data is there, it is the part of that, but that should be higher secure. These are the different type of the sensitive data type. First one is the PII, personal identifier informations. Second one is the PHI, personal health information, private health information. After that, PCI, payment card information, and after that, toxic information is there. PII in it first one is the personal identity. Personal identity are those data by which we can directly recognize, like whatever the ID we are having. PAN card ID is there, Aadhaar card ID is there, any ID is there, passport ID is there. These are the part of the personal identity. Second one is the common data, whatever the data which is belongs to us and we used to share very frequently, like mobile number is there, email ID is there, we used to share it frequently, but it is also part of the PII. If you talk about the list regulated data, then some data related to us only, but it is very less regulated. We are not also much very worry about that. Even government is also not worry about that. Like that, okay, what is the gender of mine? What is the pin code of the location where I used to stay? These are the list oriented data. And after that, circumstantial data is also used to come in any particular circumstances. Some data used to be generated, like we are going to access the internet, then IP is also become our PII. If we are going to use any digital device, any mobile device, then a mobile number is become our PII. And if we are going to use any digital device, then digital device number become our PII. Then combined data is also can be the PII. Actually, its single data is not sufficient to identify any individual. That's why after combining two, three data, it's become the PII. Like you can say like that, if one person from the Varanasi is working in this company and he is the male. By combining all these information, we can conclude that if they are talking about this person, then it is also a part of PII. After that, PHI means privacy health information. Means whatever the medical information we are having, whatever the medical history we are having, whatever the diagnosis we have done about us, whatever the medical medicine we are having, all these things record used to be coming to the medical information. And those things, those applications, those organizations is working on the processing of these kind of data, that is used to be controlled by HIPAA, which is HIPAA. Actually, it is the act, Data Privacy Act, uh, means created by the US federal agency, US federal country, US federal. And this is used to regulate all these application, mobile application, website, whatever the company is, that those things is organized, regulated by HIPAA Data Protection Act only. And after that, 18 PHI identifier means any individual 18 attributes is there, by which means if 18 attribute is there, then those database is considered as the part of the PHI. Means like whatever the medical history we are having, what we have discussed about that, those information, if inside it in any database, then it is considered as the PHI informations. And after that, overlap PII means some information from the PII also is the part of the PHI. Like if we are going to create the PHI database, then in it we are having little bit information of the PII also, means name, mobile number supposed to be there, then only that particular medical information can be supposed that it is belongs to that particular person. And after that, PCI means payment card information. So many card we are having, like credit card, debit card, and in credit card and debit card also we are having Visa and Maestro card, different type of the card we are having. Okay, means these information is come inside the PCI. Okay, and PCI DSS is the Data Protection Act. Data protection system is used to govern these type of the cards. Means what type of the facility they used to give, what type of the information we can get from these card, and those company who is going to process on this data. This is that is used to be regulated by PCI DSS. Okay, and after that, compliance audit, whoever company is working on that, whoever company is processing on that, should be audit very frequently. Whatever the data privacy things, whatever the data privacy compliance, that is fulfilling or not, that should be checked at very frequently rate. In scope are those application, those website, those system which are working on this PCI data. And after that, varies by the country. Actually, to control the data privacy things, for the payment system, there is the PCI DSS, but different companies having different one also. Means we are using Visa card, Maestro card. For that, PCI DSS is already there. But whatever the our means Reserve Bank of India, that is also used to apply some their own limitation, their own policy on that card. And after that, toxic data is there. Toxic data is there. Nothing but it is the right IPR kind of the data. IPR kind of the data means whatever the IPR we are having, that protection is also much necessary. And in toxic competitive is means every company used to be get the more candidate, means a competitive market is there. Every candidate want to use the want to have the more candidate. and they want to also use to give the better services than other company. That's why they are trying to get the information from other company, and exploiting that they used to modify their services and try to get the more company. Unquantified value, unquantified value means a company is having historical data, so much historical data is there, but it is not directly quantified like that ki if this set of information will be disclosed, then it is going to be make the loss of this company of this much. It is not like that, but that is also the part of the toxic data. Limitation of the tools, like we are having the some data act, data preserving act for PCI DSS is there, PHI HIPAA is there. For the IPR, there is not, we are not having such kind of the organizations. Okay, and after that varies by the company, different companies having different kind of the IPR. Okay, here we can say that if any company is trying to collect such kind of the information, then we can see that then first part of this data set in billing information, they are trying to collect the PII information, and in the lower side credit card information, they are trying to collect the PCI informations. Okay, if you talk about the historical evolution of the privacy, if you talk about the historical evolution of the privacy, then pre-digital era, when the computer was not there, mobile system was not there, then privacy is related to the private property only, private things only. Then at that time, means act was some, what should I say, means protocol was there, means anyone can stand alone, anyone is having right to stay alone. This policy was there, and whenever the world war second was happened, and after that so much surveillance abuses was happened, means many organizations, many countries begin to have the surveillance activity in different countries, scientists like that. Then for that only UN has implemented the human rights in 1948, and whenever 1970 98 computer is used to come into the picture, whenever the computer used to be come in the picture and virtual data is begun to create, at that time OECD protocol, OECD act were imposed, created by the US government with the Canada, and later on it was mis, uh, adopted by many country. Okay, in 1990, in 2000, whenever the whenever the commercial activities also began to happen on the virtual world, in that time European federal agencies began to concern about that, and they have launched the EU data protection directive. It was launched in 1995, and 2010 to present, where so much huge amount of data is producing. Then for that we are having the GDPR 2018, which is ultimately become the benchmark of many countries' data protection act. Okay, and GDPR only imposed the fine on the Google of 50 million, because Google were not having the transparent consent process. They fine to the Google of amount 50 million, and it was happening in France country. Okay, importance is the digital age. If you talk about the importance in the digital age, then massive amount, huge amount of the value of the sensitive data used to be generated. Now we can see that whatever the internet activity we are doing, even single footprint used to create the data. We are going to visit the sites, then whatever the sites we are visiting, these are creating the data. Whatever the search history of the internet, that is also used to create our data. Whatever the payment we are making on the internet, that is used to creating the data. Whatever the digital device we are having, that is also used to create the data. Means a huge amount of the data used to be generating in this digital era. Surveillance is also used to be happen, that surveillance government used to take the government is taking the surveillance, and organization is also taking the surveillance by the name of different things. Governments normally used to take the is having the surveillance for the protection of the people's, protection of the country, like that, and corporate is also used to do the surveillance for the providing the better services, like that. By the name of that, they used to do this surveillance. Data monetizations means whatever the stuff we are selling in the market now, in the same way our personal data, our data used to sell into the digital worlds, and according to that they used to make the profile of the digital profile of any individual, and in by that whatever the preferences of that, okay, whatever the medical things is that is used to be predict. And whenever the cyber security breach will happen, then fraud is used to be happen, identity theft used to be happen, and misuse of the personal data is also used to happen. If data privacy is properly implemented in any company, any organizations, then people is having the more reliable for those company and those organizations. And Aadhaar scheme was come in 2017, and at that time it was the become very much buzzword because Aadhaar were having much of the information of everyone information used to be collected by Aadhaar, and everything is begin to attach with the Aadhaar. Means account is need to attach with the Aadhaar, income tax system is need to attach with the Aadhaar, and after the violation of the privacy of these things, nothing much government need to do. That's why Supreme Court were just implemented the fundamental rule as a right of privacy in 2017. If you talk about the personal data, sensitive data, anonymity, then personal data, we have already discussed about that. If any data by which we can personally identify, these are the personal data. This can be the name, email ID, IP, address, photo, geological location, browsing history. Sensitive data are those by which we can means it is more sensitive than whatever the personal data we are having. It if the disclosure of this information they can provide the much harm, like the health status of any public figure, racism, politics, what is the political opinion of that particular person, what is the religion opinion, what is the sexual orientation, what is the biometric information. GDPR having the strict rule. According to that, if anyone is having the violation of these things, the heavy fine GDPR used to provide impose on them. Okay, anonymity of data is what? If any data is there, but by watching those data we are not able to identify that that particular data is belong to which particular individual. Whatever the research data we are having, that is standard data we can get from the collab and different repositories, that there's the research data is there. Those data are such kind of the data by which we can perform the research, but we are not able to identify that this particular data is belong to this particular individual. Then this is the anonymity type of the data. Means by watching this information we are not able to identify that okay, this data is belongs to this particular person. Okay, and to impose the anonymity, we are having the differential privacy technique and encryption. Encryption means we used to delete the means whatever the data of individual we used to collect. It can be medical data or any data. Whatever the data is going to identify that particular person, that is used to be delete from there. Our differential privacy is there. Means we used to add the noise in that so that whatever the data is going to identify particular person is not going to identify. Okay, after that, Aragya Setu app means we can see the Aragya Setu app was launched at the time of the Corona in 2020. If you remember that, then Aragya Setu application must be installed in any person. If anyone is going for the any mall, any shopping complex, then firstly they used to check that Aragya Setu application has been installed or not. And after that, they used to see the status of that particular person, whether they got infection or not, like that. But whatever the information they are getting and how they are saying, they are not following proper protocol. That's why later on it's become on the choice. Global overview of the data protection law. If you talk about the global overview of data protection law, then GDPR of European Union in 2018 is the most comprehensive law, and it is the foundation of many country data protection law. Its applicability as applicability on the all the European citizen, even the company which is inside the Europe or outside of the Europe also, but having the personal data information of the European people. है ना? So these were applicable to all those company. And what was the core principle behind that? Everything should be happen lawfulness. Means according to law only, everything should be happen. If any company want the person data of any person, secret data of any person, then they can take that. But everything should be happen according to the law only. Everything should be happen very fair in fairness way, and everything should be has been happen in very transparent way. Means everything should be known by individual, everything should be known by company, what the company is doing. Individuals should know that what company want to perform. They should get the proper consent from the individual. Everything should be done. And purpose limitations also means, if any company is going to take the take the personal data from anyone, and previously they need to notify that these type of the data is going to use for this type of the processing. Okay. And after that, it is not like that in the beginning they have company have told like that this such kind of the data is they are going to collect for this work, and later on they have just begun to use those kind of the data in different type of the work. It should not be happen like that. And minimization uh, principle was also in GDPR, by which GDPR used to minimize the information by the company which is going to collect by the individual. And it is not like that is something they are going to do that, and for that only such kind of the information is required, but they are taking more than much more than that. It should not be possible in the GDPR is having the compliance for that. And after that, accuracy should also be maintained properly. This was also principle for the GDPR. And after that, confidentiality of any person should be maintained in that process. In this process, what was the right of user? User's right was to access the information anytime. Users having the right to access the information anytime. If user want to rectify any information has been previously given to that company, right now he is not feeling relevant, he want to change that, then they can change that. Erasure uh, uh, mm, erasure thing was also possible with the GDPR. And by erasure, individual can assure that, means any information which has been given to company, that should be deleted from the company within 10 days, 20 days, like that. Okay. And after that, portability also means, right now if user is having accessing particular company, and later on he begin to realize that they want to switch to other company, then easily, without the data privacy violation, they can switch from one platform to another platform. Objection also, if any individual having objection about anything, then objection tackling things was also happen into the GDPR. And GDPR is having high fine if any company organization is violating Data Privacy Act, whatever the principle, whatever the right of the user. If any organization is getting the violation, then GDPR having the fine like 20 million and 4% of the global revenue. Which one is the minimum? They used to impose the fine to the organization or the company also. Okay. And global impact, actually GDPR was the first comprehensive law. On the basis of that, many country has been created their own Data Privacy Act. In India also do the same thing. They have taken the much of the things from the GDPR only. And Google was fined up the 50 million by the GDPR only in the France, because Google were not having proper consent process, consent taking process. That's why they got the fine of 50 million euro. After that, some more Data Protection Act was happened. Second was the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA. It was launched in 2020. Its scope was all the citizen which was inside the California, and all the company which was inside the California, and its revenue was more than 25 million. And the individual who were present in the into the California, it was more than 50,000. Consumer rights. What was the consumer rights in this Data Privacy Act? First one is the no, means individual should know that what the information has been kept into the that particular organizations. And delete rights was also there with the individual. If individual want to delete their information from the then organization, they can delete the information. And opt out of the selling. Actually, we have already discussed that in digital world, whatever the individual data, it is selling like the commodity. Means whatever the things we are selling from one person to another person, in the same way our personal data is also used to be sell over there. And here they were having the option for the individual that if they don't want to sell their personal information, then they can opt out. Okay, non-discriminations means it should not be discrimination on the basis of any particular things that means different people personal information begin to treat like different. It should not be happen like that. Comparison with GDPR, if you talk about the comparison with GDPR, then it was less comprehensive. Means everything was written very properly, everything was very clear in the GDPR. It was little bit less comprehensive than that. And after that, no right to be forgotten. GDPR having the option like that, if any individual want that their information should be deleted after 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, this was possible. But here it was not possible. And after that, no minimization principle, means GDPR having the principle like that. If any company want to perform anything, and for that certain set of the information is required, then company can take only the certain set of informations. If they will take the more set of data, then it was not possible. But here it is, they were not having such kind of the information. Just go. And other international law was also there, like Brazil is having LGPD, it was launched since 2020. Canada were also having PIPEDA, and it was basically for the private sector, which is established in the Canada. It was not for the government institutions. And Australia were also having Privacy Act 1988, but it were having notifiable breaches. So much breaches is happening, and this act is not able to do much thing. South Africa is also having POPIA, and this was for the both sector, public and private sector, for data protections. In our India, IT Act 2000 were come, and it was included in section 43A, 72A. In that, they were clearly defined what is the sensitive data, and whatever the security practice has to be done by any organization or government. Okay, and after that, SPDI rule 2011 were also incorporated in that, in which they have defined what are the SPDI very sensitive data in that, like passport, biometric, health information, and what is the required consent. And after that, DPDA, Digital Protection 2020 Act were also come, in which it was clearly defined that whatever the personal data and what is the exact consent is there. Because before that, consent process was there, but they were having much of the loopholes, by which means any consent can be taken very easily. But still, in DPDA, they have revised everything, and they have just notified that what is the exactly consent means. And after that, they have introduced the Protection Board also, which is especially organized for the data protection activity. And after that, in this in this individual is also having the rights of the access of informations, correction, erasure means individual want to delete the information after certain period of time. Grievance redressal were also used to happen. That means if any individual having grievance about any organizations regarding the data privacy, then they can report to the data protection board. And after that, cross border transfer were also allowed in that, in notified country only. Previously, they are trying to send their data inside the, means try to keep their means individual data inside the country only. But after coming these IT Act, they have notified that those country like that in India, all the data will be there. But in other country also, like some there also our data can be there. Neither previously what is used to happen that if any company is going to store our personal individual information, then it was compulsory that they have to create their server inside the India only. It was not possible to create server outside of the India, and they are collecting data from here. But later on, they are also become flexible, and they have notified some country where the Data Protection Act was synchronized efficiently. To those countries, they have shared the information. What was the limitation? Actually, limitation of the DPDA is, limitation is the, they have exempted the government organizations, and they were also not having the right to be forgotten. And right to privacy is a fundamental right, as we have already discussed about that. Actually, Aadhaar Aadhaar system were incorporated in our Indian system to give the benefit to the public of the all the subsidized scheme. But after that, much of the information is begin to collect in that, and many things is begin to attach with the Aadhaar only. And after collecting the data, there is no any monitoring system was there. By seeing that, our Justice KS Puttaswamy versus Union of the India, this PIL was going on, and Supreme Court ultimately decide that ki, fundamental rights is also means privacy is also a fundamental rights, and they have included into the Article 21. Observation, what was the observation? Actually, whatever the information they are collecting, their intrinsic privacy should be there, individual dignity should be maintained there, and liberty should also be there. Invasion test, if any organizations is having the uh, doing all these kind of the practices, then they should be legality, they should be check the invasion test, that should be legality, means that should follow whatever the practices has been standardized by the our Data Protection Act. And necessity means whatever the data privacy infringement was happen, it is the interest of the state. And proportionality, wherever the much security required, then much security can be imposed. Wherever the less security required, then less security can be imposed. After that, guided DPDP Act increased the oversight on the surveillance system. DPDP Act were also making the some observation or monitoring system, whatever the surveillance system surveillance is going on to our in inside India. Cross border data flow and jurisdictions, whenever our data is crossing our India country, then what was happened that then so much conflicting law was there, means on which how we are treating our data and how they are going to treat our data. Such kind of the conflict is used to happen over there. Surveillance risk is there, and we are maintaining the privacy of the our individual personal data, but they might have the surveillance on that. Severity is also issue is there. No harmonization is issue is there, and trust and security is issue is there. European Union allow transfer only in educate country, means European Union, which is having GDPR, Data Protection Act. They are also allowing only some specified outside country only, where their person data can be go. In India also, previously strict localization was necessary, but whenever the DPDP 2020 were come, then it was little bit flexible, and they have given the permission like that they can share the personal information data in different country, but some specified country only, not in all the country. But if any data is having the financial information, that for that we need to take the permission for the RBI. And related to that, actually one one Data Protection Act were made by uh, European government and US government to shield the individual privacy, which was not sufficient. That's why GDPR means in Europe, some court were denied that this is not the sufficient safeguard for the data protection. Now, surveillance actually systematic observation, collection, analysis of the individual or group or activity. Means surveillance, we are doing the surveillance means we are taking the continuously information from for any particular organization or group of organization. It is used to be conducted by government as well as the corporation as well as by the individual. Government used to do the surveillance by the name of for the national security, by the name of law enforcement, by the name of policies performing well or not. And corporation used to do the surveillance by the name of profiling, by the name of profiling. And ads also, means related ads should be provided for them. And service improvement also, whatever the service they are providing, they are surveillancing them, and whether that service profiling means where that particular service is performing well, where that service profile is not performing well, according to that they can improve in their service, they are saying like that. And individual also used to perform the surveillance by social media. Social media continuously means many individual used to post their personal information also on social media, and individual used to observe for that. Justification, wherever the surveillance used to happen, they used to give the justification like that they are doing surveillance for the safety of the national, they are doing surveillance of the safety of the individual, and they are monitoring the health condition by which means better medical treatment can be given. And counter terrorism also means terrorism attack may be happen, for that only surveillance used to they used to performing that, and so that the proactive some activity can be done for the counter terrorism. Concern is that if they are surveillancing continuously, means continuously our personal data is getting recorded, then it is the problem for the privacy, means privacy will be violated, definitely privacy will be violated. Whatever the things whatever the data related to any personal individual, that is the matter of autonomy, means that that's authority should be that person only, but their data is getting captured by the continuously by surveillance. And where is the consent, means if any person surveillance is going on, then there is nothing consent they used to take. And after that, accountability, if they are continuously taking the surveillance, and what will be the happen that if that particular data will be misused by any other things, or that particular data is going to use by any other purpose, then there's nothing accountability is there. Digital is algorithmic invisible persistence monitoring is also used to be happen there. In social media, means algorithmic surveillance is also used to be happen there, means algorithm used to detect like that is such set of the person is of the such kind of the person. Invisible means actually individual is not able to see that any surveillance is taking place for that. And persistence monitoring means continuously monitoring is going on, and individual is not knowing about even knowing about this. Type of surveillance, previously physical surveillance used to be happen. Whenever the digital cyber world was not that much strong, then physical surveillance used to be happen. And that used to be happen like that one person is chasing continuously, means tailing is there, then hidden camera used to be implanted in some specific area, and after that they are continuously surveillance used to be there. Then espionage means spy is there, they used to continuously visit activity of any person, continuously they are visiting activity of any person. Then it was totally total physically. But whenever the digital cyber word were come, then much of the information is begun to come on the cyber only. That's why in this means technique were become different. Previously individual person used to be go behind in any person, cameras used to be set over there, but right now the technology has been changed, means traffic monitoring is begin to do that, means whatever the things we are doing on the internet, and that is the means biggest surveillance used to be happen over there only. Whatever the mobile we are having through GPS, means anyone can track our means current location or previous location also. Social media also, so much person is having personal information, main information on the social media. Though by surveillancing those things also, surveillancing used to be happen that. Cookies also, cookies means what, means we are staying is on this particular site for this much time, all these information used to be stuck with the cookies. And surveillance system used to be detect to these things only. And mass surveillance is also used to be happen. Mass surveillance is also used to be happen without any discriminations, means whole the group of the people used to be kept on the surveillance. Okay. And large scale collection of the data used to happen like that, and after that whatever the information they are getting, and they used to be manipulated by predictive analytic, and any anomaly was there, and according to that, then they just began to behave as the nation security. And after that, targeted surveillance is also used to happen that. Targeted surveillance is also used to happen that, in which some specific individual person used to be kept on the surveillance, like the wiretapping and spyware. And for that, I think court permission is also required for this. If you talk about the historical, then NSA Prisma means USA company was there, USA scheme was there. They were begin to collect the data from the many tech giants, means Apple, Facebook, Microsoft. from these company they are begin to collect the information, and they are just begin to do according whatever their requirement was there. And so much criticism was happened at that time. China is one step ahead, means whatever we are having the civil score in civil score system in our country na, in the same way they are having the social credit system. Means in civil score what is used to happen, that whatever the financial transaction we used to do, that according to that they used to make the score like that, and on the basis of that, means wherever the requirement, and they used to use like that. But whatever the social activity we are doing in China, whatever the social activity we are doing, what is our purchasing habit, what is our traveling things, all these things used to track by this China social credit, and according to that they used to make the credit point. And if the credit point is higher, then they are having the reward system also. If the credit point is lower, they are having the penalized system also. Means if this social credit system is low, then you can be restricted by some traveling, you can be restricted by from the loan, and different government scheme also they are having the such kind of the credit system. In UK CCTV network, it was also extensive use of the CCTV, and it was only by the name of crime detection and surveillance system in the society for the public security only. Pegasus spyware, it was developed by the Israel. If you remember, its name was also coming to the India, I think 4 or 5 years back. It was developed by Israel, and it was mainly made for the surveillance only. And most of the time they are targeted by the journalists, activists, politicians, and different public figures. If you talk about the surveillance, then it is used to be authoritarian and democratic regimes. Means democratic regime is any public place, or authoritarian means any proprietary type of the place, any private place. Then authoritarian, it is used to be centralized. Centralized surveillance system is there. Means any university you can consider like that. Any big organization you can consider like that. Opaque. Opaque means it can be accessed from the outside, and restricted means it will be accessible inside that peripheral only, used for the descent control. By the name of descent control, means decency should be maintained in that particular organization. For that only they used to doing like that, they are saying like that. China Great Firewall, it is the name of one scheme by which they used to facial recognizing, uh, means they are using the means technique of the facial recognition to detect who is the protester for that. And democratic, if you talk about the democratic any public place, then it is regulated by the law, and it is oversight by the law. Means whatever the surveillance is going to be happen over there, then law used to monitor that key, means that those information should not be misused, and it can be the part of the public debate. And it is used to be checked by the court, RTI, data protection authority. Risk is what? Overreach under the nation security. And what is the key difference? If you talk about the authoritarian, then it is used to be happen minimal. Means oversight means checking whatever the surveillance is going on, it is going in proper way or not. They are following means they are following proper protection, data protection activity or not. Then in the case of the authoritarian, it is minimum. In the case of the democratic, it is the judicial. In the case of transparency, then for the authoritarian, it is it used to be opaque, and in the case of the democratic, it is used to be disclosure. And if you talk about the purpose, means authoritarian want to control whatever the staff is there, whatever the employee is there, whatever the people is there. And if you talk about the democratic, they have implanted these things for the nation security and health security only. If you talk about the right, then subordinated, and for the democratic, it is protected. And these are the technique by which surveillance is used to be done. First one is the CCTV, second is one is the video monitoring. CCTV, we already knowing about that. They are continuously capture the footage, but right now advanced CCTV is there in which they have enabled the AI detection system. And application is that why this system has been implanted to protect the crime, to protect the any unlawful trafficking was happening over there, to having the surveillance on the workplace. For the campus security also, CCTV and video monitoring system used to be implanted. Concern is that lack of consent, means whatever the things is happening, individual consent was in the most of the cases was not there. Mass surveillance is also used to be happen there. And after that, discrimination functions creep is also there. Discrimination function creep means previously they were saying that they are taking this surveillance for this purpose, but later on they began to realize, and without consent of any individual they started some different work. This is also used to be happen over there. And case is also has been happen that London and Delhi is the highest density of the CCTV camera. And GPS and location tracking system is also there. GPS and location tracking system is also there, in which device used to send the signal to the satellite, and according to that our location used to be tracked. What is the application? The application is that we want to navigate it to any place, from any place. Contact tracing we can also do like that, like Arogya Setu. Arogya Setu was basically made for the contact tracing. Means if any person is traveling from here to there, then to whom person they might be come into the contact. For tracing those things, this was happen. Law enforcement are also, means GPS and location tracking system is also used to be used. Aids and for the aids and services also, GPS and location tracking system is used. What is the concern? Means digital profiling might be made. Okay. And misuse, and it is used to be misused by government also. And after that, app data can also be misused. Aurogya Setu is the best one of the example of surveillance in COVID-19. It was basically made for the contact tracing only. And facial recognition system is also has been implanted. By this also surveillance, and this is also one kind of the surveillance system. And how it is worked, that actually whatever the face we are having, some mathematical model used to be generated and stored into the system, and whatever the previous database is there, they used to match with that. And according to whatever the match is there, they used to notify that this person belong to this one. It is used to happen over there. What is the application? At the border area, facial recognition system used to be implanted to find any terrorism, any militant. And phone unlock system also, we can see that facial recognition system is there on retail shop, on any retail place, we can also see that. And law enforcement also, we are having the facial recognition system. Means any criminal is there, police system is having already their picture, then they used to fix some facial recognition system in the camera, and they used to be identify that particular criminal. in this in this, false positive used to be main concern. Means that person is not particular that person, but they used to be say like that, okay, this is that person. It is used to be happen, which is the main concern only. And no consent used to be taken for these things. And mass tracking also used to be happen that. And political misuse also can be happen over there. One example is there DG Yatra in airport. Many airport is saying like that, ki whatever the process on the airport, that will be the paperless. And this is used to be done by DG Yatra only. DG Yatra is one kind of the facial recognition system, and according to that, all the process used to be performed. And after that, this is the cyber word. Means it is also kind of surveillance system. How it is working, that they used to collect the cookies. By collection of the cookies, anyone can know that we have visited this particular site, and we have stayed uh, up to how much, and which site we have visited, like this. And IPs also used to be tracked by the in the surveillance system. And whatever our search history, that is also used to be used to be tracked by the surveillance system, and app permission is also used to allow the surveillance of our app permission used to be given to the application. Means permission used to be given to the application, and application is also begin to do the surveillance for some other company, or their company only. What is the application? Ads can be means given to the concerned individual. Profiling, digital profiling also used to be done like that. Okay, content curation is also used to be do like that, and political campaigning is also used to do like that. Means by seeing all these things, what opinion that particular individual is that, and if we want to influence for any other particular, one second. Then case is also was happened in Cambridge Analytica, in which they were misusing the Facebook data. Now, am I audible? Huh. Now, what is the data collection and processing? Who collect data and use data? Actually, government is used to collect the informations. Government used to do the surveillance. Government used to do the collect the data, and it is for the name of nation security, because nation security is also very essential component for our country. And public services also means whatever the services they are providing, and for those only, like Aadhaar card. For Aadhaar card, they have taken the much of the informations, but ultimately they want to uh, provide the whatever the government scheme is for the means individual that want to do for that things only. And after that, corporation used to collect our information like Google, Amazon, Facebook, to provide the targeted ad, and to provide the digital profiling. And healthcare provider also used to get the record of the individual by consent only. Means they used to provide the some digital devices, and according to that, they used to collect whatever the sugar level is there, whatever the BP is there. Means they used to decide like that. And after that, financial institution is also used to collect the informations to customize or to means minimize the risk of the hacking of all these things. Then who's the data broker and profiling? Who is the data broker and profiling? Those organization or those company who was collecting the data from individual, and after that they are selling like the commodity in the digital world. These are the broker, data broker. What is their application? Means what is the use of doing that? To provide the targeted ads, to provide the risk profiling by the bank and insurance, and to provide to predict the consumer behavior predictions. And what is the concern from that? There is the lack of transparency. Means whatever doing that, they are not following proper transparency scheme. Inaccurate data can harm the individual. If the inaccurate data will be there, it will definitely going to harm the individual. Privacy erosion and discriminations. Nowadays big data is also has been come right now. So much big data is begin to generated, and so much AI is also has been generated in that. Means so much AI is also has been incorporated in that, by which so much predictive algorithm is there. And after that, they used to predict what will be the outbreak of the healthcare of any individual, how the marketing personalized ads can be provided to any individual, how the public safety can be targeted by these things, how the smart city is going to manage their utilities and traffic. What is the risk for that? Invasion of privacy is the risk for that. Functional creep and repurposing of the data is also the risk for that. Ethics, ultimately ethics is that in our country, whatever the organization is there, whatever the individual is there, whatever the government is there, that should be respect to any other privacy. Means they should be respect the privacy of any other. It is very much essential in this digital world. Neither every trust will be lost in nowadays. Okay, sir. Thank you, Gagan sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible. Perfect.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I have done from my side. If any query, then welcome. Neither.
Okay, sir. Very nice. It was a wonderful presentation. So I ask the participants if they have any question, you may raise your hand. Any participants have any question, they may raise your hand and we shall allow them to unmute themselves and they can question by themselves. Any participant? Miss Pooja?
Yes, sir, I'm having one question I have noted down. This was, sir, about you discussed about the uh, consumer rights, and it
Okay.
was California Consumer Privacy Act, and
Hmm.
you discussed about that consumer rights, no delete, opt out of selling, and non-discrimination. Sir, what is that non-discrimination act in that?
Actually, wherever the AI were coming, there's so much bias is happening over there. Means if any data is collected by any company for anything, that should be done for those things only. Means it should not be happen like that. Previously, they have told like that ki those data is they have collected for these things, and after recognizing anything, they are begin to treat with those data indifferently.
Okay, sir, one more question that was related to IT Act 2000.
Okay, ma'am.
Sir, in that you discussed that in IT Act in limitations. So, what is
Okay.
the meaning of that right to forgotten means? What is that right to forgotten?
Forgotten is something like that. Means if any individual wants like that their information from that organization, that company is deleting within 15 days, 20 days, means any certain type of certain duration, that can be done in GDPR, but it was not in IT Act and California Act also.
Sir, it is IT Act 2000. This means there are only sections appended, or it means from 2000. It is not changed. Means the name is IT Act 2000. So we are in
Means
2025. So is the rules are changed or only sections are added?
rules was changed means IT Act 2000 was happening like that, means any data should not be means go outside of the India country like that. Some such kind of the rules were come like that in GDP in GDGD 2023. What was happened like that, our personal information can also go outside of the country, but some limited set of the country only, where our whatever the data privacy act we are having, that country is having, that should be synchronized properly. If not like that, then they have not notified like that. But whatever the actually, that was the loss also, means what was your question? Means means right
My
to
question was, what is the meaning of right to forgotten? It was in
right to
limitation.
forgot is that only, but it was not in IT Act 2000. In later on, whatever the upgradation was happened, na, these law were not added in that, because Indian government is not feeling required for that. In fact,
Okay,
Uh,
sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank
thank
you
you,
so
madam.
much,
Thank you so much.
Ms. Pooja. And thank you, Dr. Mukesh. One more question
Thank you
is
so much,
there
sir.
in the Q&A section by Kiran BM. She's asking security law for IoT devices or wearable devices that we wear watches. And are there any security law for IoT devices? These,
Whatever the GDP, GDGD 2023 and IT Act, the same law is also apply for that. But means whatever the monitoring system, that is not means effectively applying on them. Means in digital system, everything is happening very fast. Means in very large amount it is used to happen. then whatever the law we are having the same law we have to apply on those things only, but that should be in very effective.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank
One
you,
more
sir.
question is there. What happens when we allow apps to access our location or contacts? Can that be misused?
Yeah, surveillance can be happen. Means if you know, means misuse can be done in that, like means digital profiling used to be happen like that. Means they can be means any what should I say? When any company has the data like that, key we can have these set up the people in these portion of the area, and according to that they can give the targeted ads. Means digital profiling used to be done like that. Means digital profiling used to be done like that. Means they are having the some pattern of your traveling in week wise, in day wise, like that. And at this time you are present over here, in week Saturday you used to go over there. This kind of the information they used to make, this the kind of the profiling they used to make like that.
Yes. Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Arun, is there any other question? No question? Okay. Thank you, sir. Over to you, Dr. Sachin.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mukesh, sir. Such a insightful and engaging session. On behalf of Aicte Atal Fdp and all participants, we are sincerely express our gratitude for sharing your valuable knowledge and experience with us today. I would like to thank all the participants for joining with us and making session interactive. Dear participant, we will take
And
short
I
break.
will also like to thanks to Sachin sir, Gagan
Thank you.
sir for giving me chance, and your audience also. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
It
you.
is
Thank
really
you.
a wonderful session, and we are very, very happy and
Thank
Thank
you so
fortunate
much.
to have you with us today.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Anything else?
Now,
Dr. Sachin, would you like to conclude?
Okay. W- Okay, dear participant, we will take a short break for 5 to 7 minutes. After break, we will start to the second session and kindly rejoin on time and be a part of the session.
Yeah, but I request to stay connected. So it will be better
Uh-huh.
to stay connected. We'll be back in just 5 minutes.
Fine.
So, and in the meantime, I request Dr. Arun to please launch a quiz that we have shared on the Zoom
may I
platform.
leave, na sir?
Sure, sir,
Gagan sir?
sure, sir.
Sure,
Thank you, sir.
sure.
Okay,
Thank you
thank
so
you,
much.
sir.
Sure,
Thank you
sure.
Thanks a
so
lot.
much.
Thanks. Thank you. So here is a quiz. I guess I hope everyone is getting this quiz on the screen. So you're required to fill this quiz. You have 5 minutes, and we are taking a break of 5 minutes, and we'll be back with the next speaker of the session, Dr. Nilesh Kunhare from VIT Vellore Institute of Technology, University Bhopal campus. And then we request you to please fill this quiz, attempt this quiz. It's regarding 2 days that we have spent.
Excuse me, sir, I'm not able to.
Okay. Dr. Arun, please remove Miss Pooja from panelist to the attendee. She's not able to.
Sir, after five
Thank you
minutes,
so much.
I will join as an attendee.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Pooja. Thanks a lot. It was very wonderful to have you. Thank you so much. If you are not able to see the quiz, you can find the quiz in the polls and quiz. There is an option in your app. You will find the quiz. will find the quiz in you can see three dots, and there's a caption more. You can click on the more, and there you will find polls and quizzes, the first option. So from there also you can open the quiz. Mrs. K. Krishna Sri, have you found the quiz? No, there's no problem with the network. So you can anytime open the quiz from the more option that you see in your application, the mobile application or the desktop version. There you can find the poll and quiz. Yes, okay, you found it. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you all the audience, all the participants. You have been so responsive and so engaging and interactive. And we hope you stay the same for the rest of the days and rest of the session. So we'll be meeting again in just 5 minutes. Thank you so much for your patience.
Hello, Gagan
Yes.
sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Manoj. Yes, audible.
Sir, the session was wonderful. I just request you, please ask, can you ask all the speakers that they can share some
Yes,
their contact detail,
yes,
likewise, especially the
contact
mail ID,
detail.
if they are not comfortable with the mobile number or some other things.
Okay, I'll
Please
definitely
ask them.
share the email IDs and the PPTs. I have got the today's PPT. I'll share them. I shared the first session PPT also last night by the DIG Niranjan B. Vayangankar. So I'll be sharing all the PPTs, and I'll also be sharing the contact details, emails. I will share the emails. I cannot share the contact number directly. You can send the emails to the speakers. So because as we are talking about cybersecurity
Yes,
and
we
privacy,
understand.
so I
We
cannot share
understand
the
the
phone
concern.
numbers directly, but you can email them and request them so they can respond as per their convenience. So definitely I'll share the contact details, emails, and all the
Thank you.
PPTs.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I'll
you.
also share these PPTs on the Aicte Atal portal. You will also find these resource material in the Atal portal, maybe after the completion of the whole of the FDP. Okay, Mr. Manoj Raman.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. A very good evening. Welcome back. I guess Dr. Nilesh Kunare is there. The next speaker has already joined us. Dr. Nilesh.
Dr. Nilesh sir, may I audible?
Yes. Yes. Dr. Nilesh, can you please turn on your camera?
Yes, it's on.
Okay, you got it. Welcome, sir. बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर. So I guess everybody is able to see. Stop here. So shall we start with the second session? Dr. Sachin, please take over.
Yes. Good evening, sir. Dr. Nilesh sir, may I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Before we starting with the second session of the day, it's my privilege to introduce our esteemed expert, Dr. Nilesh Kunare, sir. Dr. Kunare is doctorate from Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Indian Institute of Information Technology and Management, Gwalior, and MTech in Information Security from MNIT Bhopal. He has an academic experience of more than 10 years and has worked at various reputed institutes of India, including NIT Bhopal. He was various publications in peer review, international and national journal with high impact factor with SCI index. He is also reviewer in national and international journal. His area of interest in artificial intelligence, machine learning, optimization, information security, digital forensic, and cybersecurity. We are truly honored to have him with us today. Now I humbly invite to Dr. Nilesh Kunhare sir to take over the session and share his valuable knowledge with us. Thank you, Nilesh sir, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Should I proceed, sir?
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. Is the screen is visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So, good evening to all. Today, I will deliver some basic concepts of cyber threat detection and prevention regarding what is actually the cyber threats and how many types of attacks are there, how we can detect them, how we can prevent against these particular types of attack. I will try to recover all the topics, but due to the shortage of time, I will just introduce what is actually basic types of attacks and how it occurs and how we can implement these types of attacks in our real time in our labs. Fine. So this is all about the overview of this particular lecture. Network security fundamentals, security on different layers, and attack mitigations. We will discuss about the cryptography, PKI, and VPN.
Dr. Nilesh,
So,
I request you to please maximize. It would be very nice to see
okay.
maximize the screen.
It is already.
Is it full screen at your
Yes,
end?
it is full screen.
Okay, but we are looking at a minimized version. I mean, not the maximized version. Okay, fine, no issue. Dr. Nilesh, please share your screen. Do not share the PPT. Open the PPT in full screen and then share that screen.
Is it now visible?
Yes, it is visible. I guess it is.
So, so we will discuss about the need of security, definitions and concepts, access control, risk versus vulnerability, threats, and attacks types. So, what is actually security? The internet was initially designed for connectivity.
Dr. Nilesh, we are getting a PDF NCSC advice and guidance. We are able to see
Okay,
this.
okay. Just a minute.
Yes.
Now it's fine.
Yes, it's fine. The page number 4. It's okay.
Okay, fine, fine. So, so we will discuss what is actually security. The internet was initially designed for connectivity. trust assumed. We do more with the internet nowadays. Security protocols are added on top of the TCP/IP. The fundamental aspects of information must be protected. It includes the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So nowadays everything is dependent on the internet. First we have the wired connectivity, then we evolve to the application specific based internet connectivity. Nowadays everything is based on the cloud computing. So different ways to handle the security on the internet has a challenge right now. So, so this particular graph depicts that the key findings of the hacktivism and vandalism are the more DDoS attacks motivation, and high bandwidth DDoS attacks are the new normal. First ever IP version 6 DDoS attacks are reported, and trust issues across geographic boundaries evolves. So basically, there are three types of attacks. First is the computer security. It means that generic name for the collection of tools designed to protect data and thwart attackers. Next is the network security, measures to protect data during their transmission. Third is the internet security, measures to protect data during their transmission over a collection of interconnected networks. So these are the challenges or types of security we can say. So basically, the three goals of information security includes, that is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality includes the prevents unauthorized use or disclosure of information. Second, integrity, it safeguards the accuracy and completeness of the information. And third one is the availability. It means that authorized users have reliable and timely access. So access control includes the ability to permit or deny the use of an object by a subject. This particular access control includes three types of essential service. First is the authentication, which means that who can log in. Second, authorization, who authorized user can do. Third, accountability. It means identifies what a user did. So authentication, it means to verify or prove a user identity. The term user may refer to a person, application or a process or machine or a particular device. So identification becomes before the authentication. It is mandatory for the authentication. It provides username to establish user's identity. To prove identity, a user must present either the following. It may include the passwords or paraphrase or pin, whatever it is, or it may include a token or smart cards. You can see in the figure, e-token is there, RFID card is there, smart card, or some fingerprint may be there to authorize that particular person. So trusted network, it includes the standard defensive oriented technologies such as firewall, intrusion detection system, intrusion prevention system, and it builds the trust on the top of the TCP/IP infrastructure. Strong authentication, that is the public key infrastructure. Strong authentication, an absolute requirement. Two-factor authentication, it means that password and tokens sometimes it includes passwords, tokens, tickets, restricted access, pins, biometrics, or certificates. Nowadays we can see in our laptops or in mobiles we are using the fingerprints or biometrics or face recognition system for the authentication purpose. So that's why two-factor authentication is mandatory or required. It requires a user to provide at least two authentication factors to prove his identity. Something, username or user ID or password, or sometimes it may be a token or one-time password. So the OTP or the one-time password is generated using a small electronic device in physical possession of the user. So different OTP generated each time and expires for a particular after some time. Okay, so this is very genuine way of two-way of two-way factor authentication. So multi-factor authentication is also common nowadays and mandatory. So authorization, it defines the user's right and permission on a system, typically done after user has been authenticated. It grants a user access to a particular resource and what actions he is permitted to perform on that particular resource. So access criteria based on the level trust includes rows, whatever the rows is given, groups, location, time, transaction type. These are the particular access of that particular thing if you are authorized. So, what is the basic difference between the authentication and the authorization? Authentication simply identifies a party. However, authorization defines whether they can perform certain action. So, this is the basic difference between the authentication and the authorization. So, authorization concepts include when users may possess unnecessary high access privileges within an organization. That is known as authorization creep. Default to zero, it includes start with zero access and build on top of that. Need to know the principle, least privileges, give access only to information that the user absolutely needs. Access control list includes the list of users allowed to perform particular access to an object, read whether he or she can read the data, write the data, execute or modify. So, a single sign-on property of access control where a user logs in only once and gains access. For example, I am having a particular access by using password. This is only single sign-on. So, it benefits is that if easy of use. Only we need to remember only the password. It reduces log on cycle. For example, two-way authentication is needed. In case of single sign-on, we need only one password or one biometric system. So common SSO technology includes Kerberos, Radius, smart card based OTP token, and the disadvantage is that only a single point of attack is required, so it is easily decodable. So types of access control includes centralized and decentralized. It may be diameter, radius, or Texas, or in case of decentralized, control of access by people who are closer to the resources. Accountability. Now, the accountability is that the security goal that generates the requirement for actions of an entity to be traced uniquely to that entity. Senders cannot deny sending information. Receivers cannot deny receiving it. Whenever sender sends some confidential data, it cannot deny that that particular data should not has not sent by that particular person. And whenever receivers receive that particular data, receiver should not deny that I have not received that particular data. So users cannot deny performing a certain action. So that's why supports non-repudiation, deterrence, fault isolation, intrusion detection, and prevention, after action, recovery, and legal action. So this is the basic definition of integrity is that security goal that generates that requirement for protection against either intentional or accidental attempts to violate data integrity. Data integrity it is that the property that has when it has not been altered in an unauthorized manner. System integrity, the quality that a system has when it performs its intended function in an unimpaired manner, free from unauthorized manipulation. So we will discuss about the basic difference between the risk, threat, and vulnerability. After you must be before going through this, we must be able to differentiate between what is actually confidentiality, integrity, and availability. CIA, that is the
Dr.
basic
Kunal sir,
principles. Yes,
Dr. Kunal sir, your slide is not changing. It's so only phone number slides in screen. Okay.
it's not changing.
Yes.
Just a minute. It is 23, slide number 23.
But it's not so. Screen.
Now it's visible.
No, sir, it's not visible.
Now it's visible.
No, sir.
I have shared the screen of my desktop.
Mm, it may be some technical issues. But, here not so here. It
Just
seems.
a minute, I will try.
Mhm.
I'm trying just a minute.
It- yes, it's visible. Slide number
Okay.
24. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Fine. Fine.
Okay.
So,
So try to
so I
move.
was
So try to move up and down slides. Yes, yes, it's mobile. Okay.
okay. Fine. Fine.
Okay, okay.
So I was at the slide number 23. I was discussing about that risk, threat, and vulnerability. So what is actually vulnerability? That is the weakness in a particular system. Risk is that likelihood that a particular threat using a particular attack will exploit a particular vulnerability. So exploiting means that taking advantage of that particular weakness or vulnerability on that particular system. Non-repudiation, it means that assurance that both parties are involved in the transactions. So vulnerability, a weakness in security procedures, network design or implementation that can be exploited or violate a corporate security policy. It may be a software bug, it may be a configuration mistake, it may be a network design flaw, or it may be a lack of encryption. So exploit means that taking the advantage of that particular weakness or vulnerability in the system. So what is actually a threat? Threat means that any circumstances or event with potential to cause harm to a network system. These are some examples of threats. For example, denial of service attacks make computer resources, including the bandwidth, disk space, CPU, or many other resources of the particular system, unavailable to the intended users, or unauthorized access. For example, access without permission is used by a rightful owner of device or networks. Impersonation, worms, viruses. These are the examples of threats. So risk is that the possibility that a particular vulnerability will be exploited. It is related to the unauthorized or disclosure, modification or destruction of information, unintentional errors or omissions, IT disruptions due to nature or man-made disasters. So failure to exercise due care and diligence in implementation and operation of the IT system. So in a nutshell, we can say risk includes the threat and vulnerability, combination of threat and vulnerability. So how we will analyze the risk? So by identification, assessment, and reduction of risk to an acceptable level. So the process of identifying security risk and probability of occurrence, determining their impact, and identifying areas that require protection. Three parts of the risk analysis includes: first is the risk assessment, determining the possible risk. What are the possible chances of risks is there? Second, risk management, evaluating alternatives for mitigating the risk. And third is the risk communication, presenting this material in an understandable way to decision makers and the public. Risk management was risk cost of security. So risk mitigation, the process of selecting appropriate controls to reduce risk to an acceptable level. Our process or our effort should be that the particular vulnerability or risk should be reduced to that particular system. So the level of acceptable risk is that determined by comparing the risk of security whole exposure to the cost of implementing and enforcing the security policy. So trade-offs between safety, cost, and availability. So basically, I have discussed in the beginning that there are two types of attacks. First is the active and passive attack. We will differentiate between what is actually active and passive attacks. So active involves writing data to the network. It is common to disguise one's address and conceal the identity of the traffic sender. Passive attacks includes only reading the data. However, active includes the writing the data. Its purpose is breach of confidentiality. This is the possible if a attacker has gained control of a host in the communication path between two victim machines. For example, I am giving a lecture over here. Some third person, which is not authorized in this particular FDP, may intrude in this particular FDP and may harm to the system. So you can see the list of the active attacks, which includes denial of service attacks, spoofing, man in the middle, ARP poisoning, smurf attacks, buffer overflow, SQL injection. However, passive attack includes reconnaissance, eavesdropping, and port scanning. So attack source, various sources of attacks are there. It includes the one path routers. It can read, modify, or remove any datagram transmitted along the path, and it host can transmit datagrams that appear to come from any host but cannot necessarily receive datagrams intended for other hosts. If attackers want to receive data, they have to put themselves on path. Okay, so insider or outsider. What is the definition of permitted border? Okay, so attack can be from the inside itself or from the outside itself. It may be or active, it may be passive. We will discuss the definitions of that particular thing in the further slides. General threats. So first is the masquerade. It means that an entity claims to be another entity. Eavesdropping means an entity reads information it is not intended to read. Authorization violation. An entity uses a service or resource it is intended to use. Loss or modification of information. Data is being altered or destroyed. Denial of communication acts. That is known as repudiation. An entity falsely denies its participation in a communication act. Forgery of information. It means that an entity creates new information in the name of other entity. Next is the recognize attack. Unauthorized users to gather information about the network or system before launching other more serious types of attacks. It also known as eavesdropping. That is, information gained from these attacks is used in subsequent attacks. That is the DOS or denial of distributed DOS attack. Examples includes, for example, relevance information. It may against name, email address, common practice to use person's first initial name, last name to gain access over the device or activity. Man in the middle attack. It is also known as the active eavesdropping. Attackers make independent connections with victims and relays message between them, making them believe that they are talking directly to each other o- o- other over a private connection, when in fact entire conversation is controlled by the attacker. So usually a result of lack of end-to-end authentication. This is the main cause of the man in the middle and masquerading an entity claims to be another entity. Session hijacking. Session hijacking relates the exploitation of a valid computer session to gain unauthorized access to a information or service in a computer system. It also demonstrates that theft of a magic cookie used to authenticate a user to a remote server. Four method includes session fixation, side checking. Denial of service attack. Attempt to make a machine or network resource unavailable to intended users. Purpose is its purpose is to temporarily identify, interrupt or suspend that particular services by making service request again and again. This is known as denial of service attack. It includes various types of attacks such as ping command, ICMP. We will discuss in the further slides. So. DDoS attacks are more dynamic and comes from a broader range of attacks. Example: SYN flooding, Smurf attacks, starvation. It can be used as a redirection and reconnaissance techniques. So next is we will discuss about the layered security and attack mitigation. We will discuss about the attacks in different layers, how it occurs, security technologies, link layer security, network layer security, transport layer security, and application layer security. So this is the attacks on different types of layers in the OSI reference model as well as in the TCP/IP reference models. You can see over here, application presentation includes the DNS poisoning, phishing, SQL injection, and spam. However, in case of transport and network, it includes TCP attacks, routing attacks, SIM flooding attacks, sniffing. In case of network layer, it includes ping attack or ICMP. It is related with the DDoS attack. And in case of data link and physical, it may be ARP spoofing, MAC flooding. So ARP spoofing, MAC attacks. We will discuss about shortly about these types of attack. In AR spoofing, you can see this particular figure. A particular IP want to know the MAC address of that particular machine. In case of that particular authentic machine, machine which is not which is captured by the attacker replies. For example, I am in 10.0.03. This is the MAC address. The client's ARP cache already poisoned. It will communicate directly to the fact destination. So next is the MAC flooding. MAC flooding is means that exploits the limitation of all switches. That is fixed CAM table size. What is actually CAM? CAM, that is known as content addressable memory, stores information on the mapping of individual MAC address to physical ports. For example, you can see in this particular figure, every MAC address have the port. It make override that particular port in order to gain that particular machine access over that particular machine. So DHCP, that is known as Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol attack, starvation attack, broadcasting vast number of DHCP requests with spoofed MAC address simultaneously. So this is DHCP attack. Solution of enable DHCP snooping is that we can use following commands to deactivate the DHCP attack. Next is ICMP ping flood. ICMP ping flood means from the attacker side, he requests continuously from the internet for any kind of applications by doing request to the server, and it results into the bottleneck of resources. That is known as denial of service attack. It may be a part of ICMP attack. For example, ping of death, ICMP. Ping means met echo request, echo reply. Mitigating is sniffing attacks. Avoid using insecure protocols like basic HTTP authentication and telnet. If you have to use an unsecure protocol, try tunneling it through something to encrypt sensitive data. In order to save from this kind of attack, we can use run ARP watch. Try running tools like Snifdate, Sanitel to detect network cards in promiscuous mode, and that may be running in sniffing software. So we will switch to the routing attacks now. It attempt to poison the routing information, routing table. There are various types of algorithms running in on network layer. For example, distance vector, link state routing, and BGP attacks. So in case of distance vector, announce zero distance to all other nodes by black hole traffic and eavesdropping. In case of link state, it can drop links randomly. It can claim direct link through the other routers, and in case of BGP, SSS can announce arbitrary prefix. TCP attacks include SYN flood attacks. Occurs when an attacker sends SYN request in succession to a target. It causes a host to retain enough state or bogus half connections such that there are no resource left to establish new legitimate connections. You can see the diagram of TCP attack exploit the three-way handshake in case of SYN by using the SYN request. Attacker sends a series of SYN packets without replying with the acknowledge packet. So finite queue size of incomplete connections. This is known as the TCP SYN attack. Now we will move to the application layer attacks. Application don't authenticate properly. Okay, you can see various types of attacks are there in case of application. It includes the FTP. It may harms the FTP, telnet, POP. Okay, DNS insecurity. For example, DNS poisoning and DNS zone transfer. Application layer attacks includes the following attacks: scripting vulnerability, cookie poisoning, buffer overflow, hidden field manipulation, parameter tampering. My slide is visible to all. I'm at 51 right now.
Yes, sir.
Fine, fine.
You are at the application layer attacks.
Yes,
Slide
yes,
number
yes.
51. Yeah,
Yes.
visible.
Okay. Okay. So, application layer attacks includes scripting vulnerabilities, cookie poisoning, buffer overflow, hidden field manipulation, parameter tampering, cross-site scripting attack, and SQL injection attack. So this particular draft demonstrates what type of attacks harms it at what level. HTTP, GET, HTTP post, and various attacks are there. Next is the application layer DDoS, that is incomplete HTTP request. So it includes low bandwidth, keep sockets alive, only affects certain web servers, does not work through the loads balancers and all. So web application security risk includes injection, cross-site scripting attack, broken authentication and session management, insecure direct object reference, cross-site request forgery, that is known as CSRF, insecure cryptographic storage, failure to restrict URL access, insufficient transport layer protection, unvalidated redirects and forwards. Um, DNS changer. It means that criminals have learned that if they can control a user's DNS server, they can control what sites the user connects to the internet. How? Infect computers with the malicious software or malware. This malware changes the user's DNS settings with that of the attacker's DNS servers. Points the DNS server configuration to DNS resolvers in specific address blocks and use it for their criminal enterprise. For example, you can see this particular series of DNS server. This, if you are using this particular, if the computer is configured with one of these DNS servers, it is most likely infected with the DNS charger malware. You can check in your systems if it is in the lab. So common types of attacks: ping sweeps or port scan, sniffing, man in the middle, spoofing, hijacking, and distributed DOS attacks. We have discussed already about the man in the middle. Botnet, I will shortly explain about the botnet. Collection of compromised computers, that is known as bot. Computers are targeted by the malware or malicious activities. Once controlled, an attacker can use the compromised computer via standards based network protocols such as IRC or HTTP. How to become a bot? Drive by downloads, go to malicious websites, run malicious programs. This is, for example, Trojan from website. In this way, a bot can be created or can be controlled. So password cracking, there are various types of password cracking strategies are there, which includes dictionary attacks, guessing password using file of one m possible password, and brute force attack. It means that checking all possible values until it has been found. For example, let's suppose I'm having password with my name, or any kind of possibilities are there. It depends on the probability. Social engineering, farming and phishing. Phishing it means that victims are redirected to a fake website that looks genuine. When the victim supplies his account and password, this can be used by attacker to the target website. Typically uses fraud emails with clickable links. So it is always suggested or requested that you are not supposed to click on the link which is not secure. Okay, so farming is that redirect a website's traffic to another fake site by changing the victim's DNS settings or host file. So this is the various protocols are there for the application and presentation includes HTTPS, DNS security, PGP, SMIME, For the transport layer, it includes TLS, SSL, SSH. For network, it includes IPsec, and for physical layer, it includes 802.x and PPP. So So this is I was talking about the protocols defined in the case of HTTP and NTP LDAP various. In case of secure protocol, we must use this particular port number. For example, in case of HTTP, we are using 80. In case of secure socket layer, we use 443. So likewise, we can save our network in this particular by using this SSL in the case of application layer. Secure Shell protocol for secure remote login. It provides support for secure remote login, secure file transfer, secure forwarding, TCP IP, and X window. It consists of three major components. First is the transport layer protocol, user authentication protocol, and then last is the connection protocol. HTTPS. This is the most important thing which I have just mentioned a few slides. Uh, HTTP hypertext transfer protocol secure, widely used message oriented communication protocol, connection layers oriented protocol. Technically not a protocol in itself, but simply layering HTTP by using the SSL or TLS protocol. It encapsulates the data transfer security properties of the session. So a website must use HTTPS everywhere, otherwise it is still vulnerable to some attacks. Now we'll move to the cryptography. I will just shortly explain what is the basic difference between the symmetric and asymmetric cryptography. Cryptography deals with the creating documents that can be shared secretly over the public communications. We can see history of the cipher, substitution cipher. It involves replacing an alphabet with another character of the same alphabet set. It can be monoalphabetic single set for substitution or polyalphabetic multiple alphabets. For example, Caesar cipher, a monoalphabetic system in which each character is replaced by the third character in succession. Vignere cipher, a polyalphabetic cipher that uses 26 cross 26 table of characters. So how to break substitution cipher? You can see frequency of English letters E 12.7%, T 9.1, A 8.1, and use frequency of pairs, for example, in this case. So in this example, B appeared 36 times, U appears 33 times, P appears 32 times, and NC appears 11 times. So it depends on the frequency of the letters, especially in the case of substitution cipher. Transposition cipher, no letters are replaced, they are just rearranged. Rail fence cipher, for example, another kind of transposition cipher in which the words are spelled out as if they were rail fence. Modern cryptographic algorithms specifies the mathematical transformation that is transformed on data to encrypt or decrypt. Crypto algorithm is not a proprietary, analyzed by public community to show that there are no serious weakness. Encryption is that process of transforming plain text to the cipher text using a cryptographic key. Okay, so benefit of the good encryption algorithm includes resistant to cryptographic attack. They support variable and long key lengths and scalability. They create a unavailable effect and no export restrictions. So this is the procedure of the encryption and decryption. Plain text by using encryption algorithm, it you by using the encryption key, it generates the cipher text, and after this for the plain text, it use the decryption algorithm by using the decryption key. So symmetric key algorithm is uses a single key to both encryption and decryption. It also known as secret key algorithms. So the key must be kept a secret to maintain security. This key is also known as private key. For it follows the more traditional form of cryptography with key lengths ranging from 42 to 56 bits. So this is the typical diagram of symmetric key algorithm. It shares the common key between the sender and the receiver, or in case of encryption and decryption. It includes DES, 3DES, AES, RC4, RC6, and Blowfish. So these are the types of symmetric key algorithms. DES with the key size 56, triple DES 120, 112 bit and 168 bits. You can notice in this particular table is that longer keys are more difficult to crack, but more computationally expensive. So block and stream cipher. Block cipher. It takes a block of bits and encrypts them in as a single unit. Operate on a predetermined blocks of bits, 1 byte, 1 word, or 512 bytes, so forth. For mixing key data in with the message data in a variety of different ways. Stream cipher. It includes the is encrypts bits of the message at a time, typically bitwise. Block cipher. Block cipher, it transforms a fixed length block of plain text into a block of cipher text. Works with the data per block. Common block cipher includes DES, Blowfish, RSA, AES, IDEA, secure and fast encryption router. Stream cipher is use smaller units of plain text that what are used with block ciphers. Typically work with bits. It includes RC4, DES, 3DES. So DES developed by IBM for the US government in 1973 and based on the host Fistel's Lucifer cipher. Block cipher using shared key encryption using 56-bit key lengths. So block size is 64 bits in this case, in the case of DES. Asymmetric algorithm. Is also called public key cryptography. Key private key, and anyone can see public key. Separate keys are encryption and decryption, public and private key pairs. It includes the combination of public and private key. So example includes RSA, DSA, Diffie-Hellman, and Algorithmic elliptic. So asymmetric, in case of asymmetric, we can see a plain text is converted to the ciphertext by using encryption algorithm with the help of public key, and from the ciphertext to the plain text, it can be converted by using decryption algorithm or decryption key by using the private key. So in the asymmetric algorithm, it have the different key, public and private. However, in the case of symmetric, there is only public key shared by both the sides. So this is the basic difference between the asymmetric and symmetric. So we can see it is generally fast, symmetric is generally fast, and asymmetric can be 1,000 times slower. And in case of symmetric, same key for both encryption and decryption, and in case of asymmetric, uses two different keys, public and private, as we have discussed in the previous diagram. So what is actually hash function? It produces a condensed representation of a message that is known as hashing. The fixed length output is called the hash or message digest. The hash function takes an input message of arbitrary length and outputs fixed length code. The fixed length output is called the hash or the message digest or the original input in the message, a form of signature that uniquely represents the data. What are the uses of hash function? It is used for the verifying the file integrity. The main motive of using hash function is used to cross verify the integrity. If the hash changes, it means that the data is either compromised or altered in transition. Digitally signing documents, hashing passwords. So this is the main use of the hash function, and we can use message digest algorithms with the 128-bit fingerprints of an arbitrary length input. We can use SHA, and we can also use RIP EMD. So what is actually digital signature? Digital signature is a message appended to a packet. The sender encrypts message with own private key instead of encrypting with intended receiver's public key. The receiver of the packet uses the sender's public key for the verify of the signature. It is used to prove the identity of the sender and the integrity of the packet. Both hash function and digital signature are used for for checking the integrity of the sender of the receiver. So the digital signature, two common public key digital signature techniques includes RSA, that is known as Rivers Shamed Edelman, and DSS, that is digital signature standards. It is successful verification assures the packets has not been altered and the identity of the sender. So this is the particular diagram of our digital signature process. Hash the data using one of the supported hashing algorithms such as MD5, SHA, SHA-256, and encrypt the hashed data using sender's private key and append the signature and a copy of sender's public key to the end of the data that was signed. So this is the diagram of that particular thing. Data is hashed by using any algorithms, and that is the hash data, and by using the private key, it converts into the digital signature. So now I will discuss about the demonstration of the types of attacks that I have used in my PhD thesis. I have created a lab in which more than 4 to 5 systems are there, and I have installed a snort IDS, that is intrusion detection system tool in a one machine, and from more than one machine I have exploited some malicious activity to the particular more than two or more system, and analyze the output of that particular system by using the Wireshark tool. And I have used various types of attacks that we have discussed in the previous slides, such as TCP SIM flood attack and ping of death attack. You can see in this particular diagram, I have used TCP SIM flood attack with random source and ping of death attack. The functionalities of the port scanning techniques using the Snort IDS tool. So this is all about the cyber threat and prevention and detection techniques. If you have any questions, you can ask now.
Yes, thank you, sir. It was really wonderful presentation. It was indeed an ocean of knowledge. It was very vast presentation, and anyhow, you managed to complete it in 1.5 hours or so. It was really wonderful, and I think you at least need 2 and 2.5 hours to complete such presentation in detail. It was really wonderful. Thank you so much. I request the participants, if they have any question, they may please ask in the Q&A section, or they may raise your hands. One question we have from Ms. Pooja Dhar. Sir, how to evade ARP spoofing?
ARP spoofing, for ARP spoofing, we must know the MAC address of that particular machine, and we must capable to modify the cache table of that particular routing. So we can use ARP spoofing, and we can use the Wireshark tool. And I have already discussed in the previous slide, we can use various tools are available and deploy that particular tool in the lab and exploit malicious activity and observe the results by using the Wireshark tool. Everything is available in the Wireshark tool. What is actually sent by the sender, received by the receiver, everything is available in the Wireshark tool.
Okay, thank you, sir. One more question is there. Dr. Rashmi Divedi has asked, if a system has a known vulnerability but strong monitoring and compensating controls, how does that affect overall risk?
Can you repeat the question?
If a system has a known vulnerability but strong monitoring and compensating controls, how does that affect overall risk?
it depends on the authentication of that particular person. If it is authenticate, then he is not liable to share the confidentiality of that particular system. For example, we are here to discuss some particular things. We are the authorized person. We have the duty that this particular thing should not be shared by the third party, which is not the authentic person of this particular FDP, or any for example, we are giving lecture to, we are taking an exam. So it depends on us that we should not share the question paper to some other third party. So this is, we can say, in the context of if that particular system is not vulnerable.
Okay. Sir, Ms. Moshika is asking, please give some idea on detecting such attacks using machine learning. How can we use machine learning to detect these cyber attacks?
In case of machine learning, we can use various types of algorithms available in the machine learning, such as particle sum optimization and decision tree, random forest. Various algorithms are available. We can use Python libraries, and we can use the data sets and observe the results with the use of these particular algorithms. And various papers are available in the you can Google it, or you can cite any paper. You can definitely get the idea. Even I have already worked on this particular swarm intelligence. You can refer my paper how it works.
Okay, fine, sir. Sir, Dr. Arun, someone has raised his hand.
Very good evening, Dr. Nilesh and everyone. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Mr.
Sir, I want to ask, what is the easiest, best, and most reliable way to encrypt our data, or to share our data in a best encryption form?
There's no easiest way. You have to use the encryption techniques which I have discussed in my slides. DES technique, I have already discussed that the key, as the number of size of the key is larger, then it must be expensive. If you want to use easier way, then you can use the encryption technique, which is smaller in number. That is the only way to encrypt your data.
Right.
Wonderful,
Actually,
sir.
my question is for the basic users, as not everyone is the tech savvy. So, what is the best way? Because this is for the general people, for basic users.
Hmm. I have already discussed that you must
Mhm.
we can use a smaller number of key for the encryption techniques.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
Fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session, really. Dr. Arun, any more questions? Is it
Now,
fine? I think?
one question from Pooja side. Sir, if we want to do research in cybersecurity attacks, from where we can get data?
See, data set will be available in Google or Kaggle. N number of data sets will be available in the Kaggle, and one of the author is there. I'm forgetting his name. You can Google in the or Kaggle. We can use the data sets, and two data sets are most prominently used in the case of this particular thing. First is the NSL KDD dataset and KDD dataset. These two datasets are more common. You can use that particular dataset. These datasets are common, freely available in the website. You can download in the training and testing set, and you can deploy various machine learning algorithms and tools for analyzing the attacks.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful session and attending the questions of all the participants. And thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Dr. Sachin.
Thank you, Nilesh, sir. Thank you so much for such an enlightful and engaging session. On behalf of Aicte Atal Fdp and all the participants, we sincerely express our gratitude for sharing your valuable knowledge and experience with us today. I would like to thank all the participants for joining with great enthusiasm and making this session interactive and interesting. With this, we conclude the third day of session. Wishing you all once again a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi. See you all tomorrow at the same time for the next session.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you,
Thank
everyone,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay. Thank you.
I request participants, and I request Dr. Arun, if you can please allow some participants to open their camera so that we can have a snap.
Okay.
The interested participants may please raise their hands. So I will
I request,
be.
yeah. I request some participants to please open their camera. Mr. Abhinav Shukla, Dr. Arun Patel, sir, and from few attendees, yes, attendees, quite a few attendees are interested. So Dr. Arun, please allow them to open their camera so that we can have a screenshot of all the participants. It will be a nice, good snap of memory. And
I request Nilesh sir to please stop sharing his slide.
okay, Nilesh sir, you can stop sharing your slide. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And Dr. Arun, please show
I
us
have
the.
promoted to panelist. I
Yeah,
am
there are,
requesting.
yeah, other people are also there. So allow them to please open their camera. We can have a good screenshot of all the participants. And please open the gallery view. Dr. Arun.
I request all the panelists to please switch on their cameras so that we can have a.
And you may also share some feedback or suggestion. And yeah, it's a wonderful thing. So I'll have to go to the gallery view.
Yeah, already we have gallery view.
Okay, Ms. Vrashali Kailash, can you please turn on the camera? Dr. Arun Patel, sir, Abhinav Shukla, Dr. Patil, sir, Mohammad Danish.
Sir, the camera option is not showing up on my screen. Could you please guide me?
Okay,
just a minute, I have to promote you.
Yeah, Mr. Rahul Rajput, hello. Ajay Babu, Mr. Ajay.
Ajay Babu.
Your face is not visible. Yes. Nice to have such charming people with all of us. Yes, Dr. Sarika Saxena, welcome. Rashali Kailash, please open up your camera. And I request more of the participants to raise your hands. So, Dr. Subhashri Sahu, Dr. Arun, please allow Dr. Subhashri, Sheetal Parahate, Usha, Vidula Shukla, Vidula, yes, Inba Kumari, Dr. Subhashri Sahu. Yes, wonderful. Okay, so let me have a snap. And I request the participant also to please have a screenshot if you can see the gallery of the people, and you can share that screenshot to the WhatsApp group. Very nice. I got one. I want more people out there.
Miss Usha.
Dr. Arun Patel. Hi, sir. How are you? Dr. Arun? Please unmute your mic, Dr. Arun.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. How was the session? How was the day?
It was very nice.
It was nice. Okay. I hope all of you have learned a lot. It was a good, last 3 days. Dr. Rohini, Mohammad Danish, Vidula. Yes. Let me have another screenshot. Because I want to tell you that we also need to share these pictures to the AICTE. So AICTE will have your pictures.
Candidates are present in the photograph, that will be good.
Yes. Okay.
If any more attendees want to promote as panelists and switch on their camera, I will promote.
Dr. Rohini is traveling, I think. I like this passion. It's wonderful. People, because it's evening time, people are learning while they are traveling. It's wonderful to say.
Yes, I am coming directly from Puja.
Okay, I get it. Today is Ganesh Chaturthi. It's wonderful to see. Thank you so much, Dr. Rohini. Thanks a lot. I request any of the participants would like to say a few things, few words, any comments, any suggestions for improvements or any feedback. You're most welcome.
I request we can make it more interactive. You just request us, we will promote you to panelist, and you can make discussions with the
Okay,
experts.
sessions are over now. The technical sessions are over. Learning is over now. We can talk if you like to. So I'll be sharing the feedback form for today in the group in a few minutes. I request all of you to submit this feedback form. And I tell you that there will be an assessment in the last day during the valedictory session. I'll share the assessment. So all are required to submit that assessment also. So to be eligible to get the certificate. So thank you so much, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
everyone.
night.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So this is how we conclude the end of today. See you soon. See you tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Good night.